The English Teacher YouTube channel, videos for success in English 103 and English 104. Everyone, and welcome back to the English Teacher YouTube channel. We're here with a short video to hopefully help you understand a little bit more about Boolean operators and why we use these within the databases, especially within English 103 and English 104. Also, want to make sure that you understand the difference between searching in the databases and searching on a place like Google. Okay, Google is our main source of information, it seems like today. So I want to make sure that you understand the difference between searching within the databases that you'll be required to use and Google, which you will naturally gravitate to. Okay, so when you're on something like Google, which is a great place to start research, but not the best place for information always, especially scholarly and academic information, it doesn't mean we exclude it, right? It means that we use it as a tool to help us get where we ultimately are going. So for instance, we ultimately search in Google with things like questions. We can just start typing and it'll provide us with suggestions. When I type in the word why, it knows I'm going to be typing in some type of question and it will respond with articles accordingly. Databases don't use the same type of searching. Okay, so we want to avoid questions within these databases. So when we're on a database like ProQuest or Student Resources in Context, we've got to use what are called search terms and Boolean operators. Search terms are really key terms that are essential to your topic, as well as essential to your organization of your paper, and probably the main ideas of your body paragraphs. Okay, we can pull those terms and then use them within these databases, pairing them with the Boolean operators. So what are those Boolean operators? Well, when we look at the search bar in the middle of the screen, I'm just going to go ahead and type those in. We've got the word and, which has this particular function. We've got the word or, which has another function, and then we have the word not. I'm going to cover all three of those briefly and hopefully help you understand the point of each one of them. So let's start with the first one that I showed you there, which is the word and. So maybe you have a particular topic for your paper already, such as cancer, but you already know a little bit about it. You know a particular type of cancer that you want to be searching for. So you don't want these broad areas just coming up. So we might make this a little bit more specific by typing in the word and then the type of cancer that we're looking for. So we would type in maybe BRCA1, right? And because maybe we have a family member who has been through cancer and ultimately has dealt with this type of cancer, and you want to know a little bit more about it. Well, you're ahead of the game because you already know the particular type at this point. So really the word and is when you want to find articles or essays that have both of these terms in them. It will pull an article or thousands of articles that have cancer and BRCA1 or BRCA2 in it. Okay, so again, this is a way to specify and to focus your research. All right. Now we have the other search Boolean operator that I showed you here, which is or. Or is if you have a term such as America. The problem with America is that there are multiple ways that we refer to it. Some say America, some say United States, some say United States of America, some say USA, right? It depends on the context of the situation. Well, we have to take that into account, especially if we're looking for different information and we want to pull all of these different ways to say America together. So what we would use is the word or, all right? And then we might use the word United States. And then we would use the word maybe USA, okay? And what this will do is pull an article or pull thousands of articles that are using one of these words. Now, one thing I want you to notice here is that the United States, so the word United States or words United States are in quotations. Whenever you are searching within the databases and you have what's called a multi-term search term, right? A multi-word search term. You've got to make sure that you're putting quotations around it so the database recognizes that you're searching that together, right? Not with a Boolean operator, but you want that as a actual term. Okay, and that will hopefully help you navigate some of these areas if you're looking at like gun control, right? Gun control, 2 words, so it goes in quotations. Maybe comic books, so 2 different words, but ultimately that's our search term. We put that in quotations. Okay, so at this point, or is if you have multiple ways of saying the same thing and you want to take that into account. Now, the last one is maybe not used quite as often, but it's definitely, as you dive into your research, important to understand. So maybe we are looking into radiation, okay? And so we search radiation, like I've typed in here in the search bar, and we notice that this first item that comes up is has the word converter standing out. And maybe we notice that thousands upon thousands of these, or maybe hundreds of these articles coming up have the word converter in them, and we're not interested in that at all. So what we would do is modify our search result to get rid of those particular ones that have the word we don't care about. So we would come up here to modify search in the right-hand side of the screen. We would then leave radiation. We would type in the word not, which is a Boolean operator, and then we would type in the word we want to avoid, such as converter. And then we'd hit search. And when we do so, you'll notice that the first article changed because it got rid of any searches that use the word converter. Okay, so again, that's if you need to get rid of some things. So quick overview here as I finish up the video. The 3 Boolean operators you want to make sure that you're remembering are the word and, to specify, to find articles that contain 2 words within them. The other one is or, which allows you to create a web that brings in multiple ways of saying the same thing, and then the word not, that excludes some words that may not be relevant to your search. Okay, ultimately remember, you search differently in these databases than you do on Google, which you may use questions on Google for that search engine, but within the databases you've got to use search terms or key terms along with Boolean operators. Always refer back to your instructor, ask them questions, because they'll ultimately know the most about this and be able to help you with your particular project. But please don't avoid going over to the library. We have a fantastic resource there. Jennifer Zimmer, you've probably met her during a presentation. Please go find her. She's fantastic at this. This is what she does, and there is no better resource. Okay, hopefully you found this helpful, and check back for the YouTube page on how to limit some search results, as well as maybe how to start researching a little bit better. Okay, take care.